Hello.
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 Welcome
Welcome back yet again.
to Quiet in the Back.
Shh.
I'm your host, Patrick William.
I'm Austin Jenny, co-host.
We just watched one of my favorite zombie movies.
Stellar. I loved it. It was 28 days later.
Amazing, low budget, generally speaking,
Yeah.
compared to other movies. I think you said it was $8 million budget.
$8 million. Pretty small
That
in
was
the scheme of things.
In 2002.
Yeah.
They filmed this movie with mini DV, consumer grade cameras.
It's so cool. It shows, but it doesn't make it bad.
Exactly.
Yeah.
I think, let's see, the director was Danny Boyle, and I think that was his call, but I could be wrong on that. But if I recall correctly, he just really likes to push the limits of the technology just because it's like his thing. He just likes to do it. Try to do more with less, see how far you can take it. I think they're filming the newest 28 years later.
Yeah, the teaser trailer just dropped, actually.
Does it look good?
I haven't watched it, except for I know it shows Cillian Murphy as a zombie.
Yeah, I saw that on Reddit.
Yeah.
But I know they filmed it with an iPhone 15 sensor. Obviously, they're mounting that with a bunch of like cine lenses and a bunch of gear and all that. But still, that's a kind of like things that he likes to do. And I just think it was really fun because I had one of those types of cameras in middle school and high school. And
Really?
you can see like the grain, the low quality.
That's
like
noisy as fuck.
It's noisy as fuck. It does not handle low light well. It's like really grainy and has poor dynamic range. And
kind of adds to the horror of it, really. You know, it gives me that like Blair Witch vibe in a sense. And I know it's not found footage, but you know, same
I
level
get what you're
of
saying.
grain on it. Just kind of, it gives me that 90s scariness.
It makes you forget that you're watching a Hollywood movie.
Yeah.
You forget this was in theaters. It kind of just feels like a home movie, which makes it more relatable and more grounded.
Yeah.
And scarier.
Yeah, it was. It's a pretty spooky movie. There's some like scary parts as far as like actual jump scares go, but just overall it is a dark movie.
Yeah. I wouldn't quite qualify it as a horror movie the way that like all the classics, like it's not like Scream or Halloween where like you're not actually watching it like your heart's not going. You're not in fear.
No, it's more like of a depressive scariness.
Yeah, it's like a thrilling, I guess, or like anxiety inducing.
Which is great.
Love it.
Love that.
The one thing I need more of in my life is
more anxiety. Bring it on.
Fear.
Please, Lord.
But this is a cool movie. It kind of has that similar start as like the Walking Dead series does, where it's just like one guy wakes up in a hospital and it's been 4 weeks since the zombie outbreak has occurred and he doesn't know.
Yeah, he was in a coma.
Yeah. And he's just like wandering around an abandoned hospital and there's trash everywhere and no doctors. And he's like, what the fuck's going on?
Yeah. He doesn't run into a zombie for a while.
Quite a while, yeah.
Yeah.
He's like going through downtown London.
Yeah, just like kind of picking up the pieces a little bit, seeing like newspaper clippings and stuff of like evacuation, all that sort of thing.
If I recall correctly, the filmmakers, maybe not for all the scenes, but for a good majority of those early scenes with empty London, they were just filming that guerrilla style, no permitting.
Wow.
So those empty streets are empty just because they're up really early in the morning.
Crazy.
They just got there when it was empty and filmed.
Huh.
Yeah.
And then like added stuff in post.
I'm sure the scene with like the overturned bus was permitted.
Yeah, for sure.
I mean, you can't like put an object that big in the middle of the street and like not get in trouble.
You can, but yeah, you will get in trouble.
But I do remember reading a lot of those scenes where it's just Cillian Murphy like walking in a street that's empty. Those are just like run and gun. Let's just get up early and go.
Well, I mean, that's
in London.
Such a cost-effective way to do it, dude.
Yeah.
You know, if you're no reason to buy out the street for the day. And
Yeah,
all that
you only have $8 million. You got a bunch of actors, camera equipment, and crew. All the extras you need to be in zombie makeup. Like that money's not going to go a long way.
No, they probably only spent like $2 million on the sets, total. I feel like that.
Yeah.
Something like
Who
that.
knows?
Yeah, it's hard to judge that sort of thing.
It was it helped, I guess, because the sets were all messy and everything. So like you can just have shit everywhere.
Yeah, just clutter.
Run again and just make a bigger mess. And like, but yeah, it's a quiet start.
Very much
I guess
so.
technically the first scene is like the animal activists, like
Yeah.
they're coming to break out some chimpanzees that are being experimented on.
Mm-hmm.
And they don't really realize that the chimpanzees are infected
With rage.
Rage.
Yeah.
I like that they don't try to get all sciencey with the explanation. And like,
Yeah, agreed.
they just like the scientist is just doesn't know how best to explain it. He's like, they're just infected with rage.
Yeah, I mean,
It
yeah.
spreads through the saliva and the blood. Like that's all they give you.
Yeah, I mean, that's all you really need to know. It's not
Yeah.
like any individual person there is going to change that, or make a cure. Or
Yeah, it's
something
not like
that.
they're like running the DNA and
Yeah.
trying to like come up with a
No,
antivirus.
these are just fucking animal protesters and then normal people and then military dudes. It's like,
Yeah. So it starts from chimpanzees that
Mm-hmm.
were experimented on. So it's man-made technically, I
Mm-hmm.
guess. And yeah, ignorant animal rights activists strike again.
thanks, PETA. I'm going to dump some more fake blood on somebody.
This whole thing could have been avoided if you just stayed in your lane.
Oh, shit.
So when does he encounter the first zombie? He sets off a car alarm.
It's after that. It's after he's even perused the streets of London. I think it's like back in his apartment around there.
He goes to that church.
Yep. Nope, that was it.
He goes to
the
a church and he's on the upper story looking down and it's just full of dead bodies.
Yeah, all the pews are absolutely full, and he says hello, and one of them just fucking stands up.
There's two. They're like,
Yeah.
and he's like, oh shit. And he doesn't know what to make of it, but it scares him. And he walks away, and then there's banging on the door at the end of the hallway on the second floor, and it opens, and it's like the father, still in his like priest outfit.
Yeah. Fucking storm like does the weird zombie twitching shit, all that classic stuff, and then approaches Cillian and he fucking smacks him upside the head with his bag full of Pepsi.
Pepsi bag. They had to have had the Pepsi product placement.
I saw like 10 Pepsis, dude.
Yeah, it's the first thing he does is like he gets to the hospital vending machine, he cracks one, he's like, and drinks the whole thing. He's so refreshed. Tell me Pepsi didn't give them like most of that 8 million.
Dude, I'm sure this was just a Pepsi movie.
I understand and I'm okay with it. If you're making an indie movie and you need money to finance a movie, throw in a little product placement.
Dude, yeah, they probably gave him like a couple $100,000 or something crazy.
Yeah. It could have been $1 million. Like,
Yeah.
I mean, think about how much these companies pay for like certain ad spots just in normal TV.
Yeah, normal TV or like football time. Yeah,
Yeah,
dude,
it's-
hundreds of millions.
It doesn't cost that much to them to throw $1 or $2 million at a Hollywood movie.
Yeah, or 50 Hollywood movies, It's
Yeah.
like, who cares?
So, yeah, it's a Pepsi movie. They drink like
Pepsi movie.
4 or 5 Pepsis.
You know what's not in this movie? Coca-Cola.
There's no cola.
No, I don't see a single red can.
No. They didn't chip in.
Didn't chip in. You got to pay the fee.
You got to pay to play
That's right.
if you want Cillian Murphy's lips all over you.
Oh, God. Oh, that's crazy. That's definitely the youngest I've ever seen him. I don't think I'd ever seen him in anything that's earlier than that.
Yeah, I'm not super familiar with his career, so I couldn't off the top of my head even say if he did anything.
For me,
what
he
was
came
doing
into
before this.
existence in like Peaky Blinders. Pretty
Okay.
much, yeah. And then Oppenheimer. Oh no, Batman.
Yeah, he's been around
Yeah.
in the
forgot it.
2000s, but this was 2002. I don't know what work he did in the 90s.
Yeah, beats me. All I know is, the earliest then I would have known was Batman.
Word.
Yeah.
But yeah, he's looking slim.
Very frail. Very well, he was in a coma for 30
His character
days.
is supposed to be frail,
Yeah.
skinny, and nailed it.
Yeah, he looks fucked up, dude. He looks really, really unhealthy.
He's fully naked in multiple scenes, full dick shots, ass shots.
Let's go. It's got a nice butt.
It's not large, but
Not
it's
large. It's shape. Good
but-
shape.
It's firm.
Yeah. We know. We We know.
He's been toning.
Yeah, for sure. He's on his cut right now.
It's just all Pepsi and running.
Dude.
A lot of cardio and a lot of sugar.
Yikes, bro.
So he runs into two people
Yeah.
who help him out of a jam after he alerts those zombies, and he's like kind of running.
Yeah, Selena and Mark.
Yeah, it's a woman and a man. They are just survivors.
Yeah, I
All
don't
their
think
family's dead.
I don't think they knew each other at all beforehand. It's just
No.
like you're a human that's still alive.
Yeah. And they have a real like cutthroat survivor mentality. Like she says to him, if you get infected, I'll kill you without a second thought, you know?
And then she does that to Mark the moment
Yeah.
he gets infected.
Yeah. Mark gets a little cut. He actually doesn't get bit. He just gets a cut by glass, but because he was like fighting with the zombies,
Covered in blood.
any blood transmission or saliva transmission is enough for instant turning. And in this movie, I really like
Oh, dude, how fast it is.
the style of zombie that they went with. The zombie itself is very fast and agile. They can sprint. They don't hesitate really.
Yeah, no, it's none of that bullshit that you see in older movies, you know?
Yeah, it's not like
Yeah, no, they're...
it's coming at you.
Yeah, it's not quite to the point of like I Am Legend
Or World War Z.
or
maybe.
World War Z.
But they are sprinting.
But
they're
they
like running after
They do.
you.
It's just not like superhuman speed or anything
Yeah.
like that. But then the transmission rate too is also
Borderline
incredibly-
instantaneous.
Yeah, I think they said at one point 10 to 30 seconds or something like
Yeah,
that.
and you see it a few times in real time, and
Yeah.
it's always tragic.
Yeah.
The dad that they meet, like when he gets the drop in his eye, he knows he has like 30 seconds max.
Yeah.
And he
tells his
just
daughter he
immediately
loves him.
starts apologizing to her.
Yeah.
I'm sorry I lost my temper earlier.
Yeah.
I love you. And then stay away from me. And then he turns.
Yeah. Ooh, that was rough, man.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, that scene was probably that whole scenario and then everything to do with the girls at the
At the
other
end.
place. Yeah, that was what really
Yeah.
grossed me out as far as this movie goes, for sure. Of course, it's never the human on zombie violence because that's only limited to some level of primal monstrosity. You know, it's the human v human dirtiness that comes with that apocalyptic scenario. It's so rough.
If you're going to make a good monster movie, like it can't really be the monster that's the villain. The monster is like a plot mechanism for creating situations where people can reveal their true character. And it's always the human on human violence that's like the interesting aspect of the movie. It's true in every zombie movie that's worth anything.
Yeah, definitely.
And
yeah.
we'll get to
We'll get to that.
we'll get to a full breakdown of the end there because I think it does give you a lot to talk about.
Yeah, but soon after Mark dies, or she kills Mark, they go out looking again, just surviving, really, you know. And then they see in the distance on a skyscraper some Christmas lights.
Yeah, just blinking lights. Like, what the fuck is that? It's clearly people.
Yeah, so they go and they make their way to them, and there's a little struggle getting in because there's a zombie following them and stuff like
And
that.
there's like a blockade that the people have set up, so they're like clambering over shopping carts and barricades and
all
stuff.
sorts of shit.
But they get to the top of the apartment building to the level that the lights were at, and this dude is like in all
full
black,
SWAT.
like club, billy club, and a shield, like a riot shield.
Yeah.
And he puts his shield to the side. He's like, "Come in, go to the apartment at the end of the hall."
Flat 157.
He's in full badass mode.
Yeah, definitely. And he does, dude. He does not take any damage at all. He just fucking pushes those bitches
Beats
down
him
the
down,
stairs.
dumps him over the balcony. You see them tumbling down.
And that's Frank.
Yeah, Frank and his daughter
Hannah.
And they have been sequestered in their little apartment,
Yeah, for a month.
eating all of their dried foods and gathering rainwater from buckets on the roof, which are currently all dry.
Yes, which is a huge problem.
Yeah.
That means you have to leave, unfortunately.
Frank shows them that he's found a radio signal with his little crank radio. And it's like a looping message from a military base saying that they have a cure and salvation is over here, and they give the coordinates.
Sure they do.
Yeah.
Sure they fucking do.
Fuck boys.
Yeah, no shit, dude. Ugh.
But they decide that it's their mission, the four of them, to fuel up Frank's little bug. He's got a car. And drive the 27 miles or so.
Yeah. Well, it's at 27 miles outside of
Oh, yeah. It's
Manchester,
more
yeah.
for them. But it's about a 2 to 3 day journey, they estimate. And, yeah, they hit the road pretty quickly. And it's a little stressful. But
it is. There's some good, happy moments, actually.
Yeah.
Some of the few in that. They go to a supermarket that seems, it's just seemingly untouched.
it hasn't been raided.
Yeah.
It's like fully still stocked.
And they just like go and shop, for anything they want. And they actually like see the characters laugh and smile for like the first
They're
time.
getting chocolate and whiskey. And Frank puts his credit card on the counter as they walk out.
Yeah, that's a little
Cheeky bloke.
cheeky fucker.
But yeah, and they have a couple nice picnics in the grass,
yeah,
because they're essentially driving through the countryside between London and Manchester.
Yeah.
And so there is a lot of open rural space. They see wild horses and sheep. And they just like essentially siphon gas and have picnics.
Yeah. Do a little Valium.
Yeah. They use Valium to help themselves sleep because it's too stressful. There's a pretty tense and really awesomely directed scene in the tunnel.
Oh, yeah, definitely. So, yeah, when their car gets a flat after driving over just a mountain of shit.
Yeah.
Like, there's no way that car would like make it.
They're going in, they're at the tunnel,
Yeah.
and the girl's like, it's the most direct path through, so we should take it. And then Cillian is like, we should definitely take the less direct path, the one that's in broad daylight, that isn't in the fucking tunnel.
Yeah.
And then Frank is like, all right, let's just get this over with, and goes in the tunnel.
Yeah.
And as they're going in, he's like, this is such a bad idea.
Yeah.
You want to know why this is a bad idea? Because it's so obviously a shit idea.
Yeah. No, that was pretty good.
Yeah, they get it flat in the tunnel. And then a swarm of rats squeaks through.
As they start, like, trying to get the jack out and stuff. And, yeah, like, a lot of rats. Like, thousands and thousands of rats.
And the girl is on the ground under the car doing the jack. And the rats are crawling all over her.
Yeah, that's disgusting, dude. I would actually freak
Squealing,
Yeah.
pattering.
Yeah, no, thank you.
And then they start to see the silhouette shadows of human-shaped bodies
Yes.
at the end of the tunnel.
Yes, which is, like, weirdly far away.
Yeah.
It seemed like it took a long time for them to get
Well, they
there.
drove quite a while through
Yeah,
that
I guess
tunnel.
it's a huge
But it's
tunnel.
just so dark that the light source is distant, and it's casting these huge shadows. And they realize that the rats are running from the zombies. So they need to hurry the fuck up and get this tire changed.
Yeah, so the three adults pick up the car in the back and then just have Hannah do it, like, just all by herself, and it's taking forever, and
Turn it.
the fucking tension builds, but it's a perfectly directed and shot scene, I think. It's
I
fucking
love the
amazing.
shots.
Yeah.
They're like really nicely composed with the shadows coming up and like getting closer. It's just good cinematography.
That's right.
And like when that one zombie does come up to the car, and
Yeah,
he's
it's
bright
fucking
red.
red, yeah. Yeah,
And it's so fucking spooky.
yeah, super cool.
I liked it.
I like it a lot. They made it out. They're safe. They're all right. Just in the very nick of time, as one does.
Yeah.
And then they make it slow. Oh, no, then we get another really good scene. Once they have hit, like, the road signs for Manchester, it's just a really long shot of an empty highway. And in the very distance, just a whole city on fire.
All of Manchester is
Yeah.
burning and smoking. And the shot starts tight on the car, and it slowly, like as the car drives away, the camera just starts tilting up, and you're seeing more and more and more of the highway,
Yeah.
like building out in the distance, and it's all empty. And finally, you get to this like huge wide shot.
Yeah, just way, way, way back there. It's just like little puffs of it.
The whole landscape is on fire.
Yeah, super cool. I like that a lot.
Yeah. They go to a gas station and siphon gas, and that's where Cillian's character kills a child.
Kind of.
It's a zombie.
It is a zombie.
Not get ahead of myself. But it's a little boy. It's
Yeah.
kind of freaky.
It is.
Also, it does like a stealth drop.
Yeah, no, it drops all sneaky like and then fucking...
Silent footsteps. It's like,
Yeah. Tries to jump on his back and shit.
Yeah, he turns around just at the right time and like kicks it in the chest and then bashes its head in with a baseball bat.
Yep.
But it's like a 7-year-old boy.
Yeah, it's pretty fucked up.
Really heartbreaking.
Yeah, it really is. Yeah. I don't really know what the mechanism behind it was. You know?
Behind what?
Just like the decision to like have him kill.
It?
Yeah, just have him kill a boy there. Like, I don't know if that's like just to like toughen him up.
Yeah, I mean, I
guess,
think
make him a
it's
little more
just
resilient.
it's just adding to the overall sort of like, should I say the word milieu?
I don't know. I don't know what that
We'll
word
move
means.
past it.
Yeah.
It's adding to the overall flavor of the world that you're in. It's like, okay, this is the type of thing that has to happen. So you're getting the brutality and the survivalism
Yeah.
as a viewer. I think it's also character growth. It's
Yeah.
like showing the progression of him from the beginning where he doesn't want to kill anyone or doesn't even really believe what's happening. And then each time something more fucked up happens, it hardens him a bit.
Yeah.
And finally now he's at the point where he's like bashing in the brains of a child and you're getting a fully realized survivor now. Bless you.
Thank you.
So it's just a character arc thing, I think, and it's leading you into the final third of the movie,
Yeah.
which is going to take a lot of violence to get out of.
Yes, it does. A lot of violence. So,
Yeah.
yeah, let's dive into that fucking part.
So our characters arrive at their destination. It's a military base, but to their disappointment, there's no one there.
Yeah, seemingly abandoned.
They're checking all the vehicles. There's no equipment. There's no sign of life.
Yeah.
And the dad's really frustrated, and he starts yelling at a crow.
Yeah,
Because he's just like pissed off.
Yeah, he's just like the crow's up, picking at a body that's like on top of a fence.
Yeah. And this is where the dad, Frank, gets a little drop of blood in his eye because he's looking up at the crow.
Yeah, literally
it's-
a singular drop.
It's lights out for Frank. It's like that fast. They are about to kill him when they
Yeah.
realize he's infected, and then he gets lit up with gunshots.
And yeah, out of the nowhere, out of the bushes, there's guys in like gas masks and just full tactical gear that
Yeah.
are
Like
there.
ghillie suits almost.
Yeah, and yeah, they shoot him down, and then take him back to the compound.
Yeah, so they're not at the base. They're at this like huge castle, like manor.
Manor, an estate.
It's an estate. It's a
Yeah.
stone English estate.
Yeah, some countryside fancy estate.
But they've got a huge amount of like cleared lawn that's gated off, and they have floodlights and like claymore mines.
Yeah,
So they've got a really safe like perimeter that they can protect.
yeah,
And it's like, I want to say 7 or 8 young men, soldiers.
he said specifically 9.
It's 9 soldiers. One guy's in charge. He's the major. And there's like a cook. And there's a couple guys who are like hotheads.
Yeah,
And one guy
decent
with a
sergeant.
conscience.
Yeah, the sergeant.
The sergeant, yeah. He's more philosophical at dinner. But ostensibly, like at the beginning of this scene, this is some form of salvation.
Yeah, they think they're
It's at least safety and
yeah,
protection.
at least for the moment, for sure it is. But that quickly devolves, unfortunately.
Yeah. Some zombies try to take a run at the walls, and all the soldiers light them up, and they get into a firefight, and it really gets their blood pumping.
Yeah, they start getting really excited, and
And when they come back, one especially, but like really it's like 2 to 4 of them
yeah, a group of them.
are like sexually harassing the 2 girls.
Yeah, mostly Selena, but yeah.
And there's like, he's like taking her stuff and sexually like taunting her and talking to her about what he's going to do. And it's like about to turn into an assault.
Yeah,
most
it's
likely.
like almost about to be a rape. Like it's on the way.
The major intervenes. He gives all the soldiers something to do, gets them out of there.
Not before the sergeant fucking clocks that guy in the back of the head
Yeah,
with a
there's some
gun.
physical conflict.
Yeah, Cillian gets involved for a second too. He doesn't just stand there and watch it, but yeah.
But ultimately, the major breaks it up. He apologizes to the women and to Cillian, and he puts on like an air of stability. He's like, okay, everything's good now, right?
Yeah.
And then he takes Cillian's character aside, and they start chatting.
Mm-hmm.
And he's saying, 2 weeks ago, or whatever it was, 2 weeks ago, I found that guy in the bathroom with a gun in his mouth.
Yeah.
Talking about killing himself.
Because there's no future.
Yeah, there's no future. And I did the only thing that I could do. I promised them women.
Yeah,
and they made the radio.
The whole
loop.
thing. It's all a ploy.
Yeah, it's just to attract people there, because he says without women, there's no hope. There's no future without women.
Yeah,
which is true.
It is.
Big
I mean, in a truly biological sense,
right?
Sure.
If your goal is to somehow like survive and rebuild society, you can't do it with only men.
Yeah, of course.
So they need women to have any sort of like mental fortitude to like keep surviving. They have to have some sort of hope, and that's based on the prospect of mating with women.
Yeah.
Really.
Literally just, I mean, they just plan to use them as breeders.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fully.
Yeah.
And he's very matter of fact. He's like, look, you can be with us or I can get you out of here, but the women don't leave.
Yeah. Doesn't give him an option. And of course he resists. And so he is sent with the sergeant to be killed in their little mass grave.
Yeah, they've got a mass grave out just at the perimeter of the compound. They're going to go shoot him. They kill the one guy first, the sergeant, and then there's a little bickering, and our main character is able to like hide amongst. He like runs one direction, bodies, but then he dives in the bodies while they're fighting, and they think he kept running. And this starts like essentially the whole climax of the movie.
Yeah, it really all comes together at that point for sure.
He like. I think they write him off as dead because
they
hands
chase
are
him,
bound.
Yeah, they chase him around for a little while, and then they fucking shoot just into the random bushes and such, and then they notice that his shirt got caught on some barbed wire on top of their wall, and then they're like, oh yeah, he's dead now.
He's beyond the protection of the wall. He's got no weapon. His hands are bound. Fuck him.
Yeah.
Classic wrong decision for the villains to make.
Yeah.
Make sure that the hero is dead, guys.
Double tap, dude. It's like rule number 1 or 2.
It's rule number 1. Don't assume he's dead.
Yeah.
You have to go finish the job. So that's going to bite him in the ass.
Yeah, obviously.
He causes a huge diversion with like a air siren. Like
one of those old cranking sirens. Yeah.
He's like cranking this thing. Alerting them to the fact that yes, he's still alive,
or at least that someone is. But yeah,
and that they right away they like know it's him. Yeah, the major's like, you didn't see him die.
Yeah,
it's like we got to go get him. They jump in a jeep, and he sort of like sets a trap for them.
Yeah, he traps, and then he's just like.
He traps.
He traps, and then kind of like manically stealth kills them all. It's pretty sweet, except for the leader.
He like lures them in to that abandoned military base again. He traps, and like one by one, he sort of like picks them off and he ends up taking a gun, going back to the manor, and.
He lets the zombie free
inside. Yeah. We should talk about that too, because that's kind of crazy. They have a zombie on a leash in a courtyard.
Yeah, in like the middle of their compound, which is just the dumbest shit ever.
But I understand, like, they do need to know.
Yeah, but you could just chain him up somewhere else.
Yeah, put him actually in a cage.
Yeah,
like
he's
just chained by his neck. Like that could fail.
Yeah.
But the idea is that they want to see how long it takes for a zombie to starve to death. Because if you know that it takes like, okay, let's say 3 months.
Yeah.
Then at a minimum, you got to stay locked down for 3 months.
Minimum, yeah.
That's assuming everyone got infected and
now there's no more
died.
food. Yeah.
But really, it's got to be like 12 months at least.
Something like that. I mean, yeah, well, I don't know. We're about to see 28 years later, so that's a little insider information, though.
But they have this zombie, and Cillian like uses his gun to shoot the chains and freeze him into the compound, and starts doing like some subterfuge.
Subterfuge, I like that.
He's like slinking. It's raining out.
Yeah.
There's lightning. It's like pretty noisy.
Mm-hmm.
There's a zombie attacking people from within.
Yeah.
And then Cillian's on the outside of the building, like looking in all the windows, like going from room to room,
Checking, finding the girls.
trying to find the girls and just messing with people when he can.
Mm-hmm.
It's a cool climax to the movie.
It definitely is. It's and I mean, I'm just glad we get to see so much justice. And we needed the justice.
Yeah.
For sure.
Sometimes violence is the answer.
Hey, we're learning that day by day.
All of these movies that we watch are showing you
Violence
the
is
light.
the answer. Oh, that's funny.
Well, when you're dealing with a platoon full of rapists with machine guns,
Well, yeah, of course.
violence is the answer.
Yeah. Immediate violence.
Possibly the only answer.
Yeah, there's no penance for you.
It's not like negotiating your way out of that. Let's see. The music.
Pretty excellent, man. Pretty.
I really love the style. It's like piano and guitar and drums, and it's like
It's like almost like slow progressive rock sometimes, which I
Yeah.
like. It like fits, It's just very progressive.
yeah. Oh, what is that band called? Explosions in the Sky.
I don't know.
They did all the soundtracking for the TV show Friday Night Lights.
Gotcha.
But they do this like very emotional instrumental music that just like has all these arcs and it builds. It's kind of like classical music almost.
Yeah.
But it's like progressive rock. And,
Yeah. With modern stuff.
it kind of reminded me of that. But eerie guitars,
Yeah, very much
ominous
so.
like guitar and piano. And just the way that it builds with these scenes is so perfect. You can tell that they were playing to the scenes.
Oh, definitely. Whoever put that together was like they had seen the full movie without music first, and
Yeah.
they're
They're soundtracking it.
Opposite of True Romance.
Yeah. They are so much better than Hans Zimmer in True Romance.
Yeah,
It's
definitely, dude.
unbelievable.
How does Hans Zimmer even have a job?
How is he such a big name? With credits like True Romance.
Oh my god.
Don't get me started.
No, definitely not.
But the movie is perfectly complemented by the music, the emotions that it invokes, like the feeling of eeriness and tension that it provides. It's just so good.
Totally agree. Yeah, I mean, and like I said earlier, it's almost never the zombies giving me that tension. Right. Almost never. It does a couple times, like that car scene when they're trying to change the flat. Of course, that is anxiety inducing, but yeah, man, it's the fights between people. It's the tension between each individual character. It's fucked.
Yeah. And it's like the little things where, okay, so you meet this guy, Frank, and his daughter. Mm-hmm. You don't know going in how desperate they are.
Yeah, no, not at all.
When was the last time that they ate any food?
Yeah.
If you walk in there, is he immediately going to bash you to death and like feed you to his daughter?
Yeah.
You just don't know.
Yeah, I mean, you can see that. They are on edge at first.
Yeah.
Especially he's a big, scary man in a mask and stuff,
Any of these survival style like situations are just like the whole concept of trust and like knowledge and belief.
Yeah.
How do you operate? There's a really important scene, I think, in that apartment where the woman is saying they're just going to slow us down. She's got a daughter. This guy's overweight. If they slow me down, I'm leaving them behind right away. And he's like, I wouldn't.
Yeah.
And she basically like implies that he's naive and he's going to die and he doesn't know what he's doing. And he tries to convince her. He's like, no, I get it.
Yeah.
And thank you for saving my life, by the way, because without you, I'd be dead. But
Yeah.
he's like, trust me, I get it. I just wouldn't leave them behind because these are good people.
Yeah.
He makes the assessment that they're good. And that's like a really critical thing to carry with you.
I mean, yeah, in those situations, if possible, you need to hold on to your humanity,
Right.
That's what's setting those soldiers apart. They've
lost it.
They've lost it. They don't care. They're just not even looking at those women as women or people even.
They're
just
no longer good people.
Yeah.
They're just like the feral zombies.
Mm-hmm. If not worse, because they actually can have intentions.
Right. They're smarter, more dangerous. But yeah, I think it was a pretty key exchange between our two like lead characters.
Yeah.
About the two types of mentalities that you could possibly have in this situation.
And she eventually does
Yeah.
reconcile and agrees that is the way she wants to live as well.
Mm-hmm. She says you were right or something like that. Like, I see what you mean.
Yeah. But yeah, they fucking kill all the soldiers. For the
Every
most
last
part.
one.
Yeah,
Yeah.
either with the help of the zombies that they released or created through that process, or themselves.
Stabbing
Yeah.
with a bayonet
Yeah, fuck that guy.
right in the chest.
Yes. But then they fucking escape. Thank fuck.
There's something that he sees, actually, like before all the killing, which is a plane.
Ah, yes. That's our second hint other than the sergeant.
Yeah. So the sergeant is, when they're both locked up before they're being executed, the sergeant is going on and on about how, just think about it. Actually think about it.
Yeah.
He's
We're
like,
on an island.
how would the virus get across the ocean, over the mountains?
Mm-hmm.
We're on an island. It's just us, mate.
Yeah.
He's like, the whole world's going on without us.
Yeah.
And he's insinuating that the whole UK has been quarantined by the rest of the world.
Mm-hmm.
And it sounds a little crazy maybe at the time, but then he sees a plane in the sky.
Does. Yep.
And he's like, oh, shit.
He's totally,
He's
like,
fully right. Like,
fully
it's just
right.
England.
Yep, just England, and it's hope. You know, it's just such a huge symbol for hope. It's like, okay, now he has to go get these girls and save them.
Because now there's actually a world to return to if we can just get off this island.
Yep. And they do, we think.
They might.
Yeah.
They at least make contact with a plane.
Yeah.
With a pilot.
And then you hear, let's get a helicopter in there.
Yeah, on the
over an
radio.
intercom. Yeah.
All right, boys, let's get a helicopter down there.
Yeah.
They like find a cottage on the countryside, and they spend like some amount of time, maybe a week or two, as our character heals from a gunshot wound.
Yeah.
The two girls are like sewing together every piece of fabric.
Yeah. Yeah.
He wakes up. He's like,
The
window's too bright. He's like, It's like, not the curtains. And yeah, she sewed the curtains in, but they're building a big like message in the hillside that says hello.
Yeah.
And there's actually a pretty cool little.
Oh, that little scene while he's dreaming?
Well, is he? But the hell thing is not a dream.
No, I know. But yeah, it's just like a flash. It's like while he's asleep and that sort of thing.
The camera shows us just the word hell in the side of the mountain. And you don't have any context for that. You're just like, oh, that's fucking dark.
It is. It's like, oh, shit.
And then you realize it's them spelling hello eventually. They're just not there yet. But yeah, pretty sharp.
Pretty epic. So also knowing then, once you do find that out, that it's a quarantined area, it presents a interesting moral question. What to do if that sort of situation happened? Do you think wiping out an island like that entirely would be the correct answer? Or just let it fester in itself? I know.
You know, with these like unknown virus hypotheticals and stuff, it's like really, you don't have enough information. But like, if we're assuming that by trying to help, you're going to spread the infection, if we assume that as a given, you shouldn't help.
Yeah. But you shouldn't take action.
I mean, I wouldn't like firebomb them like they did in Resident Evil.
Yeah.
I don't think you should kill people.
Yeah.
But I don't think you can, if you can't safely enter the quarantine zone.
Yeah.
Without risking your own life, the lives of your team, let alone the lives of the outside world.
Yeah.
That's just like too risky and dangerous.
Just leave it.
You have to hope that people survive on their own. And then if they do, like our characters did, maybe you can go do an extraction for them or something. But definitely like going in and like, I don't know, doing like a full engagement of London. And like,
no, that would be impossible.
You're just going to get people killed, I think.
For sure. Yeah, the Resident Evil is what made me think about it, was the firebombing.
Yeah.
So I'm wondering what your thoughts were on that. It's pretty fucky.
Yeah, it's pretty messed up. So here's a hard moral quandary as well. We saw an example of soldiers luring people to them for women. And they obviously went about it the worst way possible. Which is
the
like
luring.
No, the rape.
Oh yeah.
The attempts at rape,
Yeah.
the assault, the menacing, the
Yeah.
threatening. They get him there, and then just sort of the facade breaks down right away.
Right away,
and
yeah.
you realize these are scumbags,
Yeah.
right? And they see you as product.
Yeah.
Nonetheless, if you are only men,
Mm-hmm.
you want, or maybe it's fair to say you need, women to rebuild your society.
Mm-hmm.
I understand the motivation to like lure people to you, like attract people to where you are.
Sure. It should just be done in a right way.
Right. Like, what is the way to like build a community in an apocalypse?
Secure
like,
resources, secure a safe place. Then you can start luring. I wouldn't call it luring because luring implies like that you're trapping. You know,
attract.
Yes.
Bring to, draw
yes,
to you.
yes.
Whatever word. I think the word
Yeah.
for me is not as important.
No, for
Get
sure.
them to you.
Yeah, yeah. But I think if you were just doing that within the confines of like an actual, you're trying to build a community, you're not going to just use these women as a sex slave. It's like, yes, bring any women, anyone, and not just women, you know. It's just bringing people together and create a new community.
Should you like say that in your radio message? Or do you broach the topic when they get there?
I think that's more of a broach topic in person sort of thing. And it's not, but it's like still under the confines of like, they're not getting forced into sex ever. You know, it still has to.
Because that's evil.
Because that's evil, exactly. There can't be any like evil side to it.
Do you send out a message that's like, because they said we have salvation, we have a cure.
See, that's fucked.
They tricked them into getting there.
Yeah.
But if you had put out a message like,
we're trying to rebuild.
We have a secure perimeter, rebuilding a community. Mm-hmm. But then do you get people that are showing up to raid your community?
Yeah.
To take advantage of you?
Yeah.
And that's probably...
You're going to get that in any situation.
That's probably why they gave the wrong coordinates.
Mm-hmm.
They didn't give the coordinates of their actual manor. They gave them of the abandoned military base so that when people get there, they're already watching.
Yeah, it's a filter for sure.
Yeah.
But
that seemed smart and tactical. I just wish they weren't such huge pieces of shit.
That is the optimal wish.
Yeah.
I fully agree. It was my least favorite part of the movie, but it's not like actually part of the movie, you know what I mean? It's just I hate them.
Yeah, I just don't like the characters
so much, yes.
Which makes it very rewarding watching them all die.
Mm-hmm. Menacingly.
Yeah. Getting eaten by zombies. Mm-hmm. What is the zombie's name? They have a name for him. It's like with an M.
Don't know.
Maillard?
I don't know.
Like, Maillard's escaped.
Maillard's? Oh, like this individual zombie?
The one they have.
Oh, yeah, I don't know. I thought you were
the
talking
one that
like,
he frees.
Yeah, I can't remember. It was either like with a W or an M. Yeah. Like maybe Walker or something like that.
No, it's not Walker, dude. No. It's Maillard.
It's Maillard.
My lord.
My lord.
I don't know. But it is very funny that he had like a sophisticated British name.
Yeah, I know.
And he's just a slobbering ghoul.
Yeah.
That guy was freaky. Like the micro expressions of the zombie actors were like pretty good.
Pretty good. They all had those really big old bug eyes, all that shit. Yeah.
The physical acting is
such jerky, twitchy shit. I
seems
hate it.
hard to accomplish well.
Oh yeah, I bet you have to practice quite a bit. And that's a weird thing to practice.
Like the breathing. Like it's so freaky, dude.
Yes, it is. Did you say this is your favorite zombie film?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is. I like the sort of independent style of it, the run and gun, low budget, as well as I like the plot and the zombies. I like the choice of having them be fast, scary, actually dangerous. Yeah. The transmission is fast. I think the acting in this movie is great.
The acting was incredible, for sure. Cillian killed it. The other, everyone killed it.
I love the music. That's a big part for me, too, is like the way it all builds and the feeling I get. The empty street shots. There's just like a magic to this movie.
Yeah, it does like it take you on a ride of like the ups and downs of some different hopes, and I like that. And I'm glad it ends on a good note. You know.
Yeah, me too. Because it could just be
Very
try to
very-
be edgy and it could just kill everyone and be like.
Yeah, this is a bummer, dude.
There's also some just really well composed shots, which I always appreciate. Like from a photography standpoint, like they're just setting things up in a beautiful way. Foreground, background, subject, like the composition is just nice. That one shot in the church, it's like a low wide angle and it just says the end is fucking nigh.
Yeah, it just starts out. It's also a shoot up, so it like starts and you just see nigh and then fucking and then end.
It tilts up and moves up the staircase and it's just like there's some really well crafted shots in this movie.
Definitely gotta take notes for when we do our movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I like that this movie gives filmmakers no excuses. They made this. Yes, they did have $8 million. Like, don't get me wrong.
Sure, that's for like the sets. And
It's
shit,
a
and, like,
movie.
yeah.
But in terms of like the gear and technology, like they did this with stuff that is vastly inferior to like the cameras in this room right now.
For sure.
And like we just have no excuse if we want to make short films or whatever. Like you can do it with what you have now for very little money. It's just about composition, script.
Yeah, I mean, so much of it's just the writing and the actual camera work, you know? Like, and acting, obviously.
Lighting, having an eye for putting together the shots. But, like, you don't need the best camera in the world to put together perfect shots and tell a story.
Yeah.
You just don't. There's a lot of obsession these days with gear because, like, I mean, it's fair.
So readily available now, too.
Yeah, the cost, the barrier to entry for all this stuff is lower than it's ever been.
Yeah.
So people get their eyes on, like, semi-professional equipment, and it is totally understandable. It's like, oh, if I just could get that, it's only, like, $3,000. Like, you know.
Which is reasonable, but then, you know, if you're a fucking non-professional, if you're not making money from this already, that's $3,000, dude.
But the truth is that, like, a professional would be able to make a better movie with lesser gear. That's what I like about this movie is it just proves that that's true.
Yeah.
And so it just really passes the ball to the creator, and they're like, go.
It makes me want to.
Yeah.
It makes me want to
be
like,
somebody.
Go out there, go try and do something.
It's cool. It's a very motivational movie.
Yeah.
In that way.
Yeah, just that way for the most part.
And in terms of inspiring you to kill rapists.
That's true. That should be more common.
Let's go.
Let's go. Well, yeah, I mean, that's pretty much all I have to say about it. I loved it.
Yeah.
I'll give it like a solid 9.
I will too. Yeah.
Super solid 9. It was like, I mean, near perfect. I don't even know why. I can't really describe why I wouldn't give it a 10.
I'm just reserving the 10s.
Yeah, right? I gotta feel like I need to be shocked into like, oh, that was the best movie I've ever seen.
Something has to really like, I've never thought it was possible.
Yeah.
You know,
I'm really excited for the
become a
next
10.
movie that we watch.
Are we doing
Everything,
everywhere, all at once?
Yes.
Followed by Delicatessen.
Yes, definitely. It's gonna be
A fantastic first 10 films.
Dude, this has been crazy. This is so much crazier than Booty Whiskey.
Yeah.
Oh.
Quiet in the Back is my new favorite thing.
Yes, absolutely. Yeah.
I hope it's also your new favorite thing.
Yeah, and talking about it, why don't you share our shit, like the video, maybe?
Share it with your friends, subscribe, leave us a comment.
That'd be pretty cool.
Tell me why I'm an idiot.
Tell me why I am also an idiot.
Tell me why I'm smarter than Austin.
That hurts.
Let's go. But yeah, thanks for tuning in, everybody. Yeah. We'll see you again next Monday.
Yeah, that's 7 days later.
7 days later. And as well, 28 days later.
Yeah, true.
We will be seeing you 28 days later.
Yes, we will. 28 years is crazy. I don't know if I'm going to be doing this in 30 years, my guy. Oh,
I can't believe they missed the opportunity to actually drop 28 years later, 28 years later.
They would have to wait. You can't wait for things nowadays.
It's just 5 more years.
Can't wait for things nowadays. We don't have 5 years, bro.
No, we might not.
That's the scary part.
War is on the horizon.
Yeah.
Get your movies made now, people.
Yep, watch Quiet in the Back. Shh. Now.
Activists did it again. Freeing chimps is how you make the whole world end. Infected with the rage in the blood and the spit. It only takes 30 seconds for the rage to transmit. Wake up in the hospital naked and afraid. Quick chug a Pepsi so that you can be brave. We had a low budget so we needed the help. In this next scene, let's please put a Pepsi on the shelf. Run, 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 run. Don't trust anyone. Zombies love to chase you on the run. They will eat everyone. Run, 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 run. This is lots of fun. Military boys in the end will have to die. Some people are good, and you wish they could live. They did what they did and gave all they could give. A single drop of blood is all it takes to transform. Kick a child in his chest before your legs get torn. I'll kill you in a heartbeat, it won't take a second. If you change, then you're gone. That's what I reckon. Let's drive into that tunnel. It's such a bad idea. This is such an obviously really shit fucking idea. Run, 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 run. Don't trust anyone. Zombies love to chase you on the run. They will eat everyone. Run, 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 run. This is lots of fun. Military boys in the end will have to